Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdouts Newsstand, and I want to talk today a little bit about some craziness that has been going on and kind of give my opinion on just a few things because I know I'm not going to change anyone's mind. And I know right now, silly little drama isn't important, but I think I have a little bit of a different opinion than most. So first off, I want to address a few things, mostly confirmation bias, critical thinking skills, and naive realism. Now, current rhetoric right now with anyone is whoever doesn't think like me or thinks differently is an idiot, right? It's dehumanizing, but it's because specifically of our confirmation bias. Also, our critical thinking skills or lack thereof, and naive realism. Everything that we see that contradicts our ideas, we dismiss. And even learning facts or seeing evidence, we see it as propaganda or fake news. So we can simply, logically, in our heads, dismiss it. When we use our critical thinking skills, we use it selectively and usually just to confirm what we know already. Most use their critical thinking skills to keep their own bias, and in fact, actually make them stronger or more radical. And then, again, when we try to debate ideals differently than ours, we call them flimsy or gaslighting, even if they are not. Most of us, most of the time, are actively supporting our own prejudice, and we're all guilty of it. But the truth is, we are usually unaware that we're even doing so. So that brings us to naive realism, right? Meaning our reality is so flawless to us. Another person must be wrong, or maybe they're lying, or maybe they're evil, or they're just an idiot. This leads us to think that people are stupid, or they're evil, usually stupid. But even so, this causes people then to, of course, get defensive, and causes a psychological turn called homophily, or love of the same, or echo chambers, right? So, you ever heard of birds of a feather flock together? And pushing this even further, it's usually done politically and almost always stifles diversity of thought. Facts do not win fights because most disregard any opposing fact in any sort of argument or rationalize why it is probably wrong. Again, facts do not win arguments, especially on YouTube. Confirmation bias does. The more you hear the same thing over and over again, it's the end of the comic book industry. It's the end of the comic book industry. It's the end of the comic book industry. You truly do believe it because that's what your own belief and value system is made up of. The more you will believe it and regard it as truth, regardless of reality. And that's on anything. I just use comic books because obviously I'm a comic book channel. But why am I telling you this? Because for some, no matter what I say in this video or no matter what I show you, your mind's already made up. Your belief system and bias has already shaped your worldview. Not to mention the Dunning-Kruger effect. That affects us all. Basically, we can read one sentence about something and we are experts. Always. Even though we can't explain it back in detail to know why it is correct. So, this is why I always say multiple times a week, it is so important to look at both sides of an argument, to seek out the opposing side of your argument and understand it fully, because it is the only way around something that your brain is naturally hardwired to do. It's not your fault. You seek out confirmation bias. It's in all of us. It's important to know all of the information. If you cannot argue for one side, you should not be able to argue for the other. Now, this leads us to the rumor mill, but I wanted to be sure I understand why people are going to disagree with me. Again, confirmation bias. But I am going to tell you what I think of the rumor mill and why I think it is unfortunately damning to all YouTubers. I get comments constantly, just like I got one today about covering this, that say, why aren't you covering the rumors about the Batman being bad? Because I know the source. Why aren't you covering the rumors about Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves fighting on set? Because I know the source. I don't want to talk about these things. I want to talk about something that has valid truths behind it. And then that brings us to Raymond Candela, who I've actually specifically called out on this channel before. Not for anything related to Star Wars. It was The Last of Us. It was a long time ago. And I called him out for basically saying that I forget her name, the lady that does the voice for Abby was attention seeking. And I was like, that's pretty wrong, dude. She got some death threats. Don't invalidate that. And that felt like what it's going to be, what he was doing. But what he's saying is going again against that confirmation bias, even though in my mind, he's correct. Now, should he have called fans retarded? No, probably not, because there is a crossover in fandoms. But honestly, if you are believing rumors that are done, and I'll bring some stuff up here, because he did actually, no, this is Doomcock. Let me bring up the other one, but he did actually apologize to the fans. And I think that was really, really nice of him. I think it was needed, but that should be the furthest he takes it, because if you truly want diversity of thought in the Fandom Menace, which I have nothing to do with, I follow most of them. I have a lot of respect for people like Jeremy, who helped me out in a really bad spot when my BitChute channel got hacked. I have respect for a lot of these people, but I don't always agree with them. But I seek them out so I can understand both sides of an opinion. Now, him apologizing for calling fans or feeling like people were offended over what he said as far as the fandom goes. I got a lot of respect for that. But what he said wasn't wrong. And the fact that he is being shunned and shunned again shows exactly what I talked about in the beginning of this. It is a confirmation bias by a cult of personality that simply, it makes up stuff. I guess I can't say he makes up stuff, but he uses 4chan a lot, and we've had plenty of videos that have exposed how he does this, right? Here's the first one. This YouTuber did a bunch of 4chan posts trying to see if they'd take the bait. And of course, again and again and again, Doomcock did. I'm not surprised. Second time. How do you fall for this repeatedly over and over again? I don't understand it. Now, every single video, and I know there are a few he's been correct on that were Reddit leaks. But as far as Doomcock goes, every single video I have ever seen, even though he prefaces his video saying take it with a grain of salt, have been incorrect. I haven't seen him be correct once. So I unsubscribed a long time ago because I have no use for fake information when I want my brain to actively absorb real. It doesn't make any sense. But there's a difference in personalities here, and I'm going to be real. You see Ryan apologizing for being honest, and he's got a kind of abrasive personality, right? Yeah, kind of in the same way I do, but maybe almost more. He's got that abrasive, like, I'm going to tell you what the fuck I think, and that's it, right? And that's good. That's a real person. Who right here says, I'm sorry. If I offended you as fans, what I thought about Doomcock and his sources, I stand by it. Respect. But here you have Doomcock basically, again, like I talked earlier about naive realism, he is saying, oh, well, what are you? You are nothing. It is the only way he can justify in that hardwired brain of his to simply dismiss something he knows is true. It very much so, in this sense, and I'm talking specifically about this tweet right here, feels like he knows he's wrong. He's been called out publicly by somebody who has a lot of subscribers, almost 70,000 subscribers, and was on a big live stream. He says, I ignore jealous little trolls like you every day. You are insignificant. When you attack someone in a repetitive manner in that way, again, you are trying to attack because your brain is telling you, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I need to make people think that I am tough. And it's really not tough at all, in my opinion, to be a guy that wears a weird mask and makes up the most ridiculous rumors. I called them out once before. I've used sources 2 times. I will say that, both of which have come true. But I have called him out once before with his BS when it came to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Everybody turned off at 5 o'clock on this time at this. What? Stop. Like, we get that, we know he knows his target audience very, very well. And the fact that he knows them, he can manipulate them. And if you've made it this far and you are part of that manipulation, realize what's going on. He is giving you what you want to hear. It's that simple. It's really not much more to it. Hey, you don't like Kathleen Kennedy? I'm going to spread 17 more rumors that she's fired and Filoni's taking over. Meanwhile, Kathleen Kennedy hired Filoni. I don't think that it was right that Ryan called people retarded. But if you cannot wake up to the fact that you are being lied and manipulated for a grift by someone who, up here, the cringe. Oh my God, the cringe is so bad. Calls himself a leader. I don't know what to say to that, because honestly, I don't look at anybody in my comment section as anything but exactly equal to me. They all talk to me because they took the time to listen, and I respect that. I would never, I don't even like saying, sometimes when I'm talking about people in the community, I'll say my fans, I'm like, oh, that's not what I meant. I'm sorry. We're no different. Absolutely none. Calling yourself a leader is very, very cringy and very weird. But hey, you do you. I get it. It's part of your whole persona. But you've been proven a liar time and time again. When is it time for people to start realizing that, maybe Ryan has a point? Maybe he absolutely does. So I don't know. If you want to hear what you want to hear, then I guess that's on you. It's absolutely his right to entertain. But when it is perpetrated through websites like Cosmic Book News or Bounding Into Comics or We've Got This Covered as factual information, it's ridiculous until you see the source and you're like, yeah, okay. I don't know. I think it's silly. I gained some respect for Ryan today. I absolutely did. But just remember, when you're looking at or listening to this video, your brain is going to tell you to hate me. Actually, listen to what I'm saying and hear me. There's a big difference. So let me know, of course, what you guys think. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
I'm not just a